Hello, everybody. Welcome back to DND404. I am your DM, Tony, and joined with me today are the other three last meals I will eat, starting with the delicious, cheesy, probably tomatoey Jared.
What's going on, guys? Armos checking in, and mine would be... I would have to go with a steak, mashed potato, crescent roll kind of meal. And if I had a little desserts, just some special... local grocery store cookies. They make them fresh every day. They're wonderful.
Steak and potatoes.
Yep, steak potatoes. I just love it.
I thought it would be a pizza.
I know. I gotta say that's like a fancy meal. You know what I mean? So
he eats it so often he doesn't eat it as his last meal.
Yeah,
exactly. Right.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dan. I play Minnis PebbleWalker, your tiny little swarm keeper ranger, and my last meal on this earth, I think, would just be the same thing I get every year on my birthday, which is a giant plate of steamers, which if you don't know what steamers are, those are steamed clams. And then I would end that meal with some banana cheesecake or maybe a banana milkshake.
Ooh, that's good. That sounds really good, actually.
Steamers.
I like that, yeah. I've never had steamers. I mean, I've had oysters or like clams in like a soup, but
I need to change that.
That sounds good. Yeah, I would totally eat that.
What about you? I feel like you've got a pretty good option here, Alec.
You know, mine is pretty basic, but my name is Alec. I play Drell of the Ashborn, and my final meal, some just good old fashioned buffalo chicken wings.
Ooh.
Like bone in.
Right.
I love chicken wings. You know, I would probably pick those with, and if I had to pick a dessert, I really like creme brulee. So I think I would go with that.
I almost went with chicken wings.
Christmas, I had creme brulee for, I think, the first time. That is good.
Dude, it's so good. Yeah.
Did it have the crispy top?
Oh, it has to.
Have to.
It's got to be so crispy that when you put it in your mouth, it like cuts up the roof of your mouth, or else it's not it's not crispy enough. What about you, Tony?
It would have to be like a whole plate of cheeseburgers, man. Like just cheeseburgers stacked on top of each other. That's it's my favorite.
From where? Anywhere
Doesn't
specific?
really matter. I mean, so I also have a birthday ritual. I get White Castle every year on my birthday, similar to like what Dan does when he gets steamers. My favorite foods in the world are like miniature versions of normal foods. So like I love hors d'oeuvres, but like cheeseburgers, man, just like a whole bunch of like really good sliders, you know? And then for dessert, like a million cannolis. You know what I'm saying? Like just I love me a good cannoli, dude. So many cannolis.
I was going to ask Tony, have you ever had lady fingers? Oh, actually, they're called lady locks is what I was thinking of. Some people call them cream horn cookies. Have you ever had those? That's what I'm talking about.
Creamed horned cookies?
Cream horn cookies.
I'm looking at them right now. Maybe I have.
Do not spell that wrong, because you're going to get some on it.
They are one of my favorite desserts in the world. My mom makes them so well, and they seem right up your alley.
Cookies. No, but it looks like could eat a whole batch of these bad boys.
You would destroy a plate of these.
Probably.
I need to have my mom make you some of these, send them to you like in the new year. And
they look like mini I would love anything your mom makes. I would happily eat because she could bake.
I'm sending all y'all lady fingers. I mean, lady locks.
But these kind of look like little version, like mini Schwiggy-Dells. So I would definitely this. Yeah. And now you know the deal. Before we roll for the recap, we're going to go ahead and do the rundown. Today's rundown is brought to you by Jared.
Hey, guys, have you checked out our website lately? If you haven't, you should go over to DND404.com and check out everything that we got there. We got a trailer for our website that you can go ahead and link to our YouTube. If you go over to the merch, you can go and see the new Drell hoodie. It's looking fly. We switched up the colors. It's blue. It's looking good. DND404.com. Check it out now.
Also blogs.
Oh, yeah, we're writing blogs every once in a while, so if you guys want to check those out, too.
I just wrote a new one that's being posted today.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And if you catch them early enough, you can even see the editing notes that we have on there. So
no to self to write blog posts before episode comes out.
You're going to kick yourself in the pants later for that one day. You'll be like, biscuits.
Hopefully, it's one I've been meaning to write, so I'm kicking myself in the butt to
do you want to tell us the title?
Yes, it is how D&D 404 was created, the story of D&D 404. Tony yelled at me because I was playing in another server.
Wait, is it because like how we all met or how we started playing?
No, that's on you guys. You tell. I feel like that's your story, Jared.
All right, so I threw I threw Tony into a van. Okay.
From my point of view, there was nobody around. There was an awkward spotlight shining onto a dark van, in which Jared was like, "Hey, you want to come to a party?
You want some cannolis? Come this way."
We will.
All right, Tony, let's roll into that.
All right, here we go. So how are we going to do this? I got my net of dunking. I got a rubber foam D4 half eaten by my bunnies. Where I number 1, 2 is Alec, 3 is Dan, and 4 is Jared.
Need to do just a nice swift 180 backwards dunk.
Yeah, I can do it.
Oh, there it goes.
Easy.
Oh,
works. That works.
I mean, we'll take it.
That's hilarious.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
You know what
not me.
I wish I could zoom in on.
No, we don't want to zoom. We just fixed his camera.
Yeah.
Although
I think it's me, but I can never tell when it's far away. I thought it was me last time.
Woo!
Nice. I just edited this episode, so it's gonna be easy for me.
As he sat there and made Tony really sweat out what was talked about.
Last time on DND404, we went through the underground little aquifer, and then we found out that there was a big vampire in a weird kind of looking coffin thing, and Armos decided to go put a skull in there with a spirit kind of thing, creature elemental. That's right, it was a water elemental, and then it went into the coffin, and he rose and said, "Call my name, and then I will eventually come to your aid." Then we went up to the surface, going through the sewers, fighting our way through a little bit of muck, and then up there was a lot of blood and gore and flying things and all kind of insect creatures crawling after us, and then finally when we got over to the side, we found in the secret entrance, went down into this base that we found all of our old crew, the people that we love and adore, and a new person named Sly. And that is where we left off the episode. Thank you very much. Bar, play the intro.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the world of Humbrea, featuring 3 first-time adventurers and 1 very patient DM. This is D&D 404.
You know, when you say it like that, it really condenses 3 hours of work.
Yeah.
It sure do. Okay, fellas, boyos, welcome to session 126. We pick up in the depths of a basement, a local hideaway, a tavern called the Blood and Iron, which is a hideout hidden deep within the Red City, specifically a part of the infested ward that you had just entered the city through. From the last session, you had come out from the sewer system just beneath the city, from a sewer cap that had led its way into a vampire matter and even a bigger cave system all leading from the mountains of Stratham. This was a secret entranceway into the city that you used, guided by Morgan Ulthiel, who has introduced you to a group of smugglers known as the Shadow Smugglers. That's right, which you actually happen to know. And a part of that group was also Duncan Bellow, your first tavern innkeeper that you ever met. And he had revealed that he was looking for Bushwick, which was the little child, the dwarven child that was taken away, that only Minnis saw all the way back from session 2, ripped from the material plane right before his very eyes with a flash. He had heard some rumors that not all who are taken are immediately killed. And with that being said, he has decided to come look for Bushwick or any remains of Bushwick that he could bring back because his father was his best friend and wanted to do him that honor. We're picking up after Armos had just talked to Sly, who is a changeling who knows his way around the city and has been trying to find methods to move around the city undetected by blending in as a cultist, keeping to the shadows, and trying to avoid demons, cultists, and these tin heads or tin hats that this group has been called, which are these suits of armor that are walking around like soldiers. And we're going to pick up with the 3 of you fighting over the alchemy jug, as the ale here isn't the greatest, and Leslie is just addicted to finally getting some decent quality ale from Drell's alchemy jug, and they are fighting over what now seems to be the last bit of it at the bottom of the jug that it could conjure for this day.
What did I say? Give it back to me.
I don't understand why you're just hugging it all. You have it all the time.
What do you mean you drink most of it?
I don't understand what you mean by
Oh my gosh, dude. Someone come get this.
You're
Someone
spilling
come
it. You're
get this
spilling
out.
it.
I don't know
You see Leslie has one of her feet talons on one side of the jug and is giving you somewhat of a good push and pull despite your massive strength over Leslie.
All right, what if we split it? All right.
Guys, we literally have pitchers, empty pitchers, poured into the pitchers.
No. Oh my God, what's that over there?
What?
I try to like point in the opposite direction to distract her.
Minnis looks.
Deception check.
That's a flat 11.
Leslie looks over with her body remaining motionless. Her head does a 180 spin and looks behind her towards the fireplace. Why, is there more ale over there?
I drink the rest of it.
You tap what's left of the alchemy jug. You know the alchemy jug can make quite a bit of ale as the group of you, Baldy, Hugh, Duncan, Leslie, even Minnis, and maybe Armos have all tapped into the alchemy jug. Right now, as the three of you are finishing up your drinks and you see that Huey goes to the side room over here, grabs a small barrel of very aged ale. Doesn't smell the best, but it's been getting the job done for what they've been using it for. Rolls it over and decides to drink from that. As you can see that they're kind of celebrating, and it seems like they're enjoying what little festivity that they've created since you have arrived. It seemed that it's been a while since they had any joy, and they're just kind of taking advantage of the situation with the three of you being here. Morgan and Sly had finished up their conversation with Armos, as Morgan had asked to use one of the cots there before leaving and heading back to the outpost, to the Stratham outpost, as she doesn't want to linger in the city, as she had mentioned prior.
I guess I'll look at the guys and I'll just say, all right, so what's our game plan from here?
We need to find a way to get over to the tower. Sly over there, he was telling us that, it's going to be a bit difficult. Even if we try and disguise ourselves, there's no guarantee that that'll keep us disguised for long. And I'm not even sure how to get over there.
Yeah.
Aye, the living towers, they be a menace. We stay away from them. They are very perceptive. Despite their featureless stature, they are gargantuan, they have a crazy reach, and they seem to see through all our disguises and all of Sly's follies. They are quite perceptive. It seems that the only ones that can make it through are groups of cultists. One of them seems to have a red glow among them, like a lantern, glowing a red flame. It seems that this could be the key. Now, of course, we have tried fiddling with the lantern to produce a red flame, but it is not the same. It clearly acts as a key. To get to Viro's tower, you'll have to pass at least 5 of these living towers, and, well, there's no easy feat to do it undetected.
Okay. Do you think those lanterns might be similar to ours, but maybe they go to that shard realm?
Shard realm?
I guess you might not know a lot of the stuff we know. So, Christo seems to be this sort of shard creature. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it. But we need to find our way into his realm and destroy the phylactery. Otherwise, I don't think we have any hope of destroying a Christo at all, unless that's done.
Phylactery, okay.
Beyond my knowledge as well. It's new to me.
Can't say I know too much about the dark arts. I'm just here to try to recover a body.
Yeah. Well, I hope you find him alive.
Aye, same here, lad. Same here.
Do you have any more info on where he could be?
We've done some reconnaissance thanks to Sly. Sly is quite nimble throughout the city. He has tried to gather some information, some useful information, but like we haven't been able to gather anything close to them, because once we get close, his disguises are seen through and the ruse is over. And he takes out a map, lays it out for you guys, and he has marked so Duncan takes out a map because I kind of labeled the areas for what we've learned to see like who has control over what. It's not exactly one big city working together, you understand. Right now we are in the first living ward, and he points to the map and he shows you this broken building where the three of you are currently under. And he goes, directly south of us is the second living ward, which is infested and overrun with demons. They are spawning in from the living towers, flying over to the main gate and fighting on the front line. Now, there are demons that are spread throughout the whole city that wander aimlessly. They ignore the cultists. Alongside with the cultists are these tin heads, these metal suits of armor that help protect them. Some are larger, some look more like you and I. The military ward, there are a group of hangars. We have seen prisoner transports head to this location, and he points on a map to a bunch of drawn hangars that look like to be on a plateau, and there's like two ways to access it. There is a ramp that leads to like this big gate building, and then there is a bridge from the second living ward that goes over the third living ward, then north into the military ward. The city itself is built on a mountain, so a lot of these districts are higher and lower of each other. So you see from the second living ward, which is right outside of the main gate, west of that, there's this long bridge that towers over this other section of the city that leads into this military ward. You can see that that bridge is a direct way to get whatever is in there when the city was alive and functional, when they were a normal city, that whatever they had stored in there, soldiers, weapons, any equipment, can get to the main gate as quickly as possible. And you can see that the whole city was kind of catered to getting to the main gate as quick as possible, because the city itself is sitting on a body of water in a giant valley of tall mountains. Really, that main gate is the only accessible way to get an army through. This is a very well-defended city, and that's why it's so hard to reclaim, because they simply can't get into it, because there's no aerial means to get a massive army through.
So, Viral's Tower is the place that they were planning on going and blowing up, right?
Viral's Tower, yes.
Viral's Tower.
No, we were planning, so the military ward, we have seen prisoners being taken there. You see that once Duncan had brought out the map, Sly had come over to the table to take a look. Sly chimes in, puts two fingers on the map, and begins to like point at various important sections of the city. I have seen prisoner transports enter through the north side of this military ward here in several of the hangars. We think that they are using them for other means, maybe possibly trying to recruit them or gain some type of advantage. We're not sure. We haven't seen what they do firsthand. I haven't been able to get close enough. That military ward is very well protected. There is an army in there. What I have noticed is that I have seen individuals with those unique red lanterns head into there. It's perhaps some sort of key or mechanism that produces a special signal of some kind to let these living towers ignore them. We wanted to blow a hole in one of these hangars on the next transport that we caught to potentially save some of the prisoners, maybe try to get them back here out of the city and try to find where they're taking them, to see if there's even a chance that anyone who's brought here several days ago, let alone a year ago, has a chance of surviving. So our focus has been here. Any answers that we think we may find, questions that we have unanswered now, or questions we haven't even asked yet, may lie within the military ward. The old castle is overrun by demons. There is a large demon that lives in the old arena.
How large?
Stay here long enough, you'll hear it. It is about the size of the arena, I would say. It is magically bounded there.
Drell like ye.
The glyphs that are keeping the beasts in place seem to be the work from the cultists. It attacks anything that goes near it. It looks like a last-ditch effort in case something goes wrong, they will unleash it.
Even if they have a red lantern, it attacks them.
Yes. So how the lantern works, so the living towers don't attack whoever's holding it. It guides whoever's in that, let's say, radius, that aura of its light.
Okay.
So a small battalion of cultists could get through Viral's tower if the lantern is lit.
Got it.
So should our first order of business be trying to steal one of these lanterns from a cultist?
Only certain cultists have them.
Yes.
The only ones I've seen are the ones going to the military ward.
So if we go that way, we can take a look, maybe get a couple, hopefully. And if we get more than two, then you guys can have a couple and we can have one to head towards Viral's tower.
Yeah. So do we just want to attack the military ward?
Taking the military ward head on would be a very, very grueling fight. I do not doubt your strength for making it this far, but there's a whole army within that ward of tin heads.
I mean, disguises will get us far enough, I suppose, until we reach one of those cultists with the lantern. Once we reach one of the ones with the lantern, we take it out, try and find another one. Hopefully our disguises will almost bring us to each cultist like island hoppers. Then we can make our way back to you guys and figure out our next move after that. How's that sound?
I'm in. Armos. I look at Armos.
Armos has just been studying the map. He doesn't have a better plan. He does see something that catches his eye. This town square, how much do you know about this city square?
The city square is where the rifts open, where these large cages full of prisoners are brought in. And then once the new batch of prisoners come through, they head westward towards the military ward. Those who aren't fortunate enough to go to the prisoners ward are then released south to the second living ward, which is overrun by demons. They let them loose, they close the gate, and screams ensue. Sounds like they're feeding them.
Oof, that's not good.
The ward we're in is infested due to the Bloodshard's activity, and its influence has rapidly grown these insects to large gargantuan size and have completely taken over this ward of the city. There are no cultists here, there are no tin heads here, they're just massive insects that work as almost like a symbiotic hive mind, and they attack, kill, and grow. And well, the rest of the city is so fierce that the infestation hasn't really left this ward, but they leave this one alone, which is why we decided to take refuge here. And then these, of course, and he points to several towers that are marked in red as living towers. These living towers watch over the city, seem to all work on one functioning mind. If you set off one and there's another nearby, the other one will instantly join in. They see through all types of camouflage, visibility, and smoke. We don't notice any eyes on them. They're just like a impenetrable sentry.
How close do you have to be to those towers before they are activated?
They are always moving. They have an incredible reach. I've seen cultists get snatched up over 200 feet away.
Okay.
They are gargantuan.
Well, if we see them, I guess we'll just have to try our best to avoid them. Maybe we'll stake out the city square, and if we see any of those cultists with the lanterns, we can follow them to their next area and try and ambush them in some way.
And the towers have the same sight as the other things? Like, you need to have a Bloodshard, or can the towers still see you as well?
The living towers won't attack cultists or demons. It will randomly feed off one of them every so often, but they won't go through. However, if you're trying to head to Viral's tower, it seems like you need that lantern to pass through. Otherwise, they will attack regardless. You've seen some stragglers trying to go through there just to be eviscerated.
Oh, okay. I guess we should get some rest before figuring this out. Is there anyone that might be able to come with us to guide us through the city? Sly, you know your way around. What about you?
I could certainly help you, yes.
Okay. I'm not going to be able to get around too far in an unknown area. Once I have some time around, maybe I can be of more help. But for now, if maybe you could come and be our eyes, that would help.
Of course. I have been surveying the military ward. I've been trying to get within these hangars and trying to find a way to get in. Duncan does have some explosives that might be able to get through one of the walls, but that would certainly cause a large distraction and may bring in an army we may not be able to handle.
Right. Yeah, first things first, we got to be as stealthy as possible to just even get our hands on one lantern, let alone 2 or 3.
I haven't seen that many. I've only ever had eyes on 2. One by a robed figure and another by another wearing a full black suit of plate armor.
One of those tin heads. Is that what you called them?
That's what we call them, yeah.
All right, guys, I'm getting a bit tired here. I need to rest a while before we head back out.
Yeah, I can use some sleep too.
Baldy chimes in. Well, we got some cots in the back over there. You can go ahead and draw the curtain, and you might need to double up on some of the beds. We don't have a lot of them. You're more than welcome to use what we have here. Please, we have some clean water. You're not going to see a lot of that around here once you leave. Take any food you might need. Take a rest. Prepare. It's non-stop up there.
All right, well, Armos, Minnis, you guys share a cot. I'm going to take the other one, and we'll go from there.
I'm pretty small. I might just crash on that cushion chair over there.
Minnis goes full cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
And, curls up.
I curl up in an armchair.
Drell looks for the biggest cot possible and lays down in it.
There are 4 twin-size cots.
He looks for the biggest twin-size cot. No. and yeah, he just starts taking off his armor, setting it all aside, and he's getting ready to knock out.
You see Sly wanders over to the couch, the ripped, torn up couch by the fireplace, kicks his feet up, lays down, and decides to take a rest there. You see Leslie flies over to a perch, begins to nestle within herself, while Duncan Huey, Baldy stay up. I said maybe they're trying to keep watch or just going about their own activities. Is there anything that anybody wants to do before you do a long rest in preparation, or something you want to do before the long rest ends? Oh, by the way, you guys are level 17 now.
That's right.
We forgot to mention that little tidbit. You guys now gain the benefits of level 17.
Oh my gosh.
I am unstoppable.
I'm just attuning to different items.
I am changing so many spells. The idea is that we need to catch someone with this lantern.
Ideally. We need to
beat their ass.
Steal the lantern. We don't necessarily need to capture them.
We don't need them alive.
Also that.
What items are you attuning to, Minnis?
Rod of Resurrection, Rod of Alertness, and the Hat of Disguise.
Anybody else changing any items around?
I would like to adjust my... What do I want to adjust? Oh, my ring spells.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, finally. God, we remembered now.
Yeah, remembered.
Yeah,
Okay.
So the Ring of Spellcasting. You can contain up to a level 5 spell, which means you can do 1 level 3 spell, 2 level 1 spells, 5 level 1 spells, or 1 5th level spell. Those are the combinations you can do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they have to be casted into the ring.
Can I leave some spells that are in it? Is it like a plug and play? Or do I have to expel the spells before I can fill them, if that makes sense?
So yeah, you have to cast the spell to remove it from the ring. So they're all one-time use, but if you wanted to get rid of, say, Arcane Missile, then you can cast that, and now you have a level 1 spot that's free.
It was the missile one, shield, and...
Fireball.
Oh, I got a great one. I got a really useful one. Probably the most useful spell you'll ever use.
Oh my god. If
All right,
he
Drell.
says what I think he's going to say. Oh, yes.
I'll cast Speak with Animals in your ring.
Oh, that's actually a really good idea. Oh my god. Yeah.
All right. Here you go. And he does it without asking.
Oh, wait. Were we not going to talk about it? Please.
Speak with Animals. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
I go over to Drell and I'm like, don't worry, buddy. We'll get you a better one.
Okay. I want to keep shield. That's the one I'm gonna keep in there.
Okay.
I got 3 slots left.
All right. Let me look.
But don't tell Minnis that I got rid of Speak with Animals. If
Yeah.
he's got to think it's still. All right. So Minnis, what do you have?
Well, you got to Speak with Animals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I could cast a Charlatan Stride in there. You could bonus action yourself into some fiery steps as you're hitting people.
Mm-hmm. What else you got? Mm-hmm.
Revivify.
Wait. So wait, if I cast something in there, does it use my spell modifier?
Yes.
Bro, I mean, I could just Eldritch Blast it.
Eldritch Blast is a cantrip. It cannot be on there. Has to be a leveled spell.
I was like, oh my god, you're gonna be amazing.
All right.
I could give you a level 1 Absorb Elements, so in case you ever get hit with something, you're resistant to it.
I like that. Okay.
Okay.
So that's level 1, all right?
All right, so now you got 2 slots with Speak with Animals and Absorb Elements.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. And then what was this? A Charlatan Stride? What did you say?
I think that's a level 2 spell.
You got Fireball. I mean, level 2's fine. That's okay.
No, it's level 3. That might be tough.
Yeah, not gonna work.
Well, you could speak with plants too.
Wait, you can already go invisible, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. I do have the cloak. Yep, that's true. Yes, I can. Ooh, what about Misty Step? You got Misty Step?
That'd be dope.
I do. Hey, okay, technically, but it's my racial one, but I can learn it and give it to you.
What about healing
Trying to find
spells?
you a
Minnis, you got any
shield.
healing spells?
I do.
Yeah. What you got out of that?
I got Healing Word.
Mm-hmm.
I got Cure Wounds.
What's the biggest boy for a level 2?
Well, I'll probably Cure Wounds if you're up close to someone.
Mm,
But that's an action.
yeah.
Ooh, I got one for you. I can give you Ray of Enfeeblement, which makes it so that the target, it will do half damage when you're attacked with a weapon that uses strength. So if it's a big
Ooh.
beastie dude, it will half their damage.
Yeah, we're gonna circle back to it. Let's do it. All right. So we kind of do that real quick before we go to bed, and Drell's like, "All right, boys, let's see how this thing works tomorrow."
So what spells are in it? Ray of Enfeeblement,
Absorb elements, and then I'm keeping shield.
Heaving Shield, and Speak with Animals.
No. Speaking animals is not in it. He Minnis put it in it, but Drell took it out.
Drell casted it on himself before he went to bed to get it out of there, and then we put the new ones back in.
So it's a level 2 shield, a level 2 ray of enfeeblement, and a level 1 absorb elements.
Level 1 shield.
Oh, shield is only level 1?
Yes.
So you can have speak with animals.
Okay, fine. I'll fucking keep it. Just, I thought it would be way funnier if Minnis thought he put it in the ring and then I didn't have it, but I needed it.
So Minnis goes. You go to bed. Armos, you rearrange your spells, because everyone's level 17 now, and then you loaded up your ring of spellcasting. Perfect, great. The three of you go to bed. As the sounds begins to silence and the fireplace begins to dim as everyone is now taking rest, you begin to hear the sounds from above. The giant insects crawling relentlessly above you. You feel the stones turning, molding, and rolling over in place. You hear the infestation ever growing above you. And it sounds like dried blood cracking, branches ever reaching, and the sound of skitters constantly rain the soft like wood sawdust above you, coming from the old beams of this building above you. You hear horrifying screams in the distance that do not sound human. You hear faint thundering booms in the distance from the ballistas going off. And you hear large thuds of rocks and buildings being smashed occasionally. This is definitely a rough night's sleep for all of you, as the horrors begin to worsen, and you can only imagine what is actually happening above you, how long it's been happening. This city has been corrupted long before you had started your adventure. So the activities that are in here are just another daily routine for what has been going on for what seems like your entire lives. And as you finally drift to sleep, Minnis, you're gonna roll me a D4.
Sure. 1.
Minnis, you begin to dream as you toss and turn, try to sleep through the horrors above. And you find yourself in a very visual dream. You feel like you're feeling what's happening. It feels like a strong visage as you're experiencing an outer worldly experience here through the eyes of another, a creature even smaller than you are. You find yourself in the middle of a volcano in the Ashborn clan, and you're looking up at a giant Goliath, and you see these very similar tattoos of the Ashborn tribe. And this Goliath is sitting and he's looking out towards the harsh winter lands of North Trillis. You feel the heat from the volcano and the frigid ice from outside, and the Goliath speaks to you. Hey, little buddy. Looks down at you. Dark clouds are making the winters harsher here. You see the Goliath is very sad. Then you hear the sounds of meh, 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 as your little stone hand reaches up to his hand and taps on it. And that gloom face feels somewhat relieved and even happy. And he goes, you're right. The fire within burns bright with you by my side. As you look over, and there's a giant claymore next to you, as he has a giant axe in hand, and the two of you look out to the dark red cloud harsh winter frigid frozen tundra. And then you gently fall back asleep. It's that deep sleep. And 8 hours pass, and the three of you begin to wake up from your long rest. You see Sly has already kicked up his feet. He is sitting hunched over. He has his hands in front of him. It looks like he's looking at a map. He's just trying to get his bearings. As you see, he's now adjusting his hood, making sure he has everything with him as the three of you are awakened.
Oh, God. Oh, not ready for the day.
Drell.
I know, I slept like absolute crap.
Other than your long rest things that come back to you, anything that takes that resets at dawn has not come back or recharged.
Oh, okay.
In my rest, I got a great sleep. Let me tell you guys. All right, Drell, come here. I had an epiphany that came to me at night.
An epiphany.
And
what?
I feel just more powerful from my level up. That I go over and I'm like, all right, you gotta trust me.
Trust him.
And I go and I grab his shoulder.
Ow.
Reginald grabs your shoulder too.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We touch one willing creature and bestow a limited ability to see the immediate future. For the duration, the target cannot be surprised and has advantage on attacks rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. Additionally, other creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target for the duration. The spell immediately ends when I cast it again before the duration ends, and it lasts for 8 hours. It is not concentration.
Oh my goodness.
That is my level 9th spell.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
You cast Foresight as Reginald looks at you. Are you a willing creature, Drell?
Yeah, your name's in the book. Your name's in the book, and I hold up my book.
Yeah.
Okay, let's catch
Sign the contract.
I gotta nuzzle him, Armos. I gotta nuzzle him.
Oh.
I gotta give him the ability.
Okay.
And you see that Reginald begins to rub his face against you.
Oh, okay.
Slight static start to show up.
Drell gives him a nice little scratch behind the ears.
Oh, thank you.
It shocks you as all of a sudden you're filled with the foresight of fight.
I can see everything.
Minnis does happy feet and then goes, oh, now do me.
Oh. Sorry, I only had one hummingbird feather.
What?
Yeah.
That's what I needed. I needed a hummingbird feather.
Oh, dang it.
As I stick the rest of them in my bag and just tuck them down.
This is a little grumpy now.
All right, so I go up to Sly after waking up, getting some water. What is the plan? I know we say that we need to get here, but how are we getting here? And I point to the military place. Are we going around? We going straight across? What's the best way?
I have been toiling with this idea myself, and all the options, I'm just gonna put it out there, are not great. It just depends on what you want to deal with. If we head south through the living ward, it is infested with demons. They have great senses. They are sure to sniff you out, and a fight might be had. But going over that bridge and heading right into the military ward, we will bypass the third living ward, which is full of cultists and suits of armor that are walking around. The other way to go is go through the city square. We may see some of these transports ready. We would have to sneak by a group of cultists and a small battalion of these tin heads. There are living towers to the north side of that city square that might intervene if we are caught. However, if we could sneak by, we could head through the military ward through the northern side.
I say we go west and see if we can catch one of those lantern guys coming through a portal.
That involves sneaking.
Yes, I also think we should go west.
Sly, can you go invisible at all?
Can I go magically invisible? No, I stick to the shadows.
Oh.
However, invisibility does not get you around anything here. It just, maybe the cultists, but everything can see through those magical means. Things have special vision. Those living towers see through invisibility real quick.
The towers do, but not necessarily the creatures.
I'm not sure about the demons. They hunt on their senses, blood, sniffing, anything of that nature. The tin heads look like they can see through invisibility.
Okay, so avoid tin heads, avoid towers, and we're kind of good.
Okay. Okay.
The best way to hide from things that fly above you or demons is probably just ducking inside of one of the houses. What is inside the houses, you might get lucky, you might get unlucky.
All right. So Drell, Armos, you go invisible for a while.
Wait, he said that it's okay.
Sly, you are sneaky and you'll just have to kind of guide us best you can.
Yes.
I come back on invisible and say, deal with it. And I go back invisible.
And I will fool them all. And I cast Hat of Disguise on myself. You see Minnis put on his disguise glasses, put on his hat, and then he changes into a cultist.
Oh, Huey Bald to go, cultist, and I miss. And they all drunk.
Where did Minnis go?
It's me.
Oh, you scared me. You can't do that, Minnis, come on.
Sorry.
Is this really a time to prank like that?
And it's not a prank. I'm trying to get around.
Sly puts his hand in front of his face, and he is a changeling because he has a pale, powder white face with a Rorschach that is ever shifting over his face like a moving blot. And he puts his hand over his face, and his clothes begin to change, and he also looks like a cultist.
Whoa, look at us.
Yes, this is how I have been getting around. However, cultists, I'm able to trick pretty easily. They're not the smartest. Or really, they're not really that clever, so to speak.
Right.
But the tin heads will see through this.
All right. If they ask us, we're brothers. My name is...
They do not ask questions.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the cultists. Yes, of course. Okay. We are not related. Trust me.
Why not?
You don't even want to... They ask yes, no questions. However, don't speak to them. Everything is a ranking. Let's just say the grub of the cultists, which is what we look like right now, do not speak. They only listen to commands.
Oh,
that's it.
Dang it. All right, if I see one of those big honcho cultists, I'll try and change into one of them.
Yeah. And just like that, he's gone. And Drell puts the hood of his cloak over his head and he goes invisible. Where am I?
2 of us have achieved our New Year's resolutions.
Where am I? Where am I?
All right, well, let's get going.
Onwards. See you guys. And I wave to the crew with my cultist disguise, magical cultist disguise.
Bye, cultist member Minnis.
Bye.
Me. As you see that now, there are little Sids next to Huey, Baldy, Duncan. There's one on Sly's shoulder, and
they all look like tiny imps.
Yeah, and you see that Morgan waves goodbye to you, and she goes, "Thank you for getting me here. It's a journey I never want to do again."
Yeah, well, hopefully next time we see you, you can share a little more about your inventions in a happier light.
Yes, please be quiet as you travel through the city. Thank you. And she closes the curtain.
What does that
mean? She closes the curtain on you.
No respect around here.
And the 4 of you now make your way outside of this little hideout. On this map, I have planted a green flag because it's a point of interest. This is where the hideaway is located. As you see, it's a very big map, and I want you to be able to find these locations if you wish to ever return to them.
They should really take this flag down off of this. I think it makes it very obvious that it's a hideout.
So you venture out into the infested part of the Red City. As the sounds of bugs and creeping infestation is growing all around you, the vines, mushrooms, and goopy sinew are pulsating and slowly growing all around you as you see these giant, massive insects, these predator insects, are moving and skittering across all these building tops. You know that these creatures attack regardless of what you are. You need to move quietly. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna just quickly use a ranger feature to give myself temp HP.
Cool.
So do I still roll these with disadvantage even though I'm invisible?
They are flat.
Okay.
Don't forget, you have foresight.
Thank you.
Yeah, so before we leave, I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace just to give us a little edge as we're going through the city. I think we'll need it.
I got a nat 20.
Natural 20. You are gliding. As you are following Sly, I'm going to need everyone to move their characters as we go. Sly will be the point in which you are sneaking up to. Anything past would be like a new check. You see Sly goes to the south end of the building, notices one of these creatures, waits a few minutes as he's like waiting for like the creature to move. You see the creature on top of the building to your south begin to like throw up. And then as the red goo begins to smother and leak all over the building, it begins to move to the south side on the other end of the roof where you cannot see, and Sly begins to move again, sliding under that roof's shade and still heading southward. As you are heading south and westward, you see this large red vine, this almost like a giant trunk of a tree, is leading southward, covering a dirt ramp leading into the next part of the city, and that's where he is heading. As he goes up, he runs over to the branch, and I'm gonna need everyone to make me another stealth check.
My first one was a 41, by the way.
Another nat 20.
Oh, nat 1, reroll.
Woo!
Tony didn't even ask me what I got the first time.
Dang. I got a 37.
Drell, what'd you get this time?
23.
Very nice. Go ahead and move your character to where he will be standing.
It's a 21 plus 2.
As Sly is running over, waiting for you to catch up, moving very slowly and methodically, he begins to travel up the large red trunk, getting on top, hiding underneath this giant mushroom. As the 3 of you follow, you are able to see the dirt ramp leading into the city square. You see the dirt ramp covered in blood. On top of this L-shaped building is a large demon needle-shaped, very long like a snake with a horseshoe type head. Very large wings. Beats, flap, and fold into itself as if it's just looking around. And you see that it's holding a body of another smaller demon, taking long, slow chomps out of it, biting into it, rips it from its body, and begins to chew. This beast looks to be about 50 feet tall and very, very large. It's sitting on top of this building and it looks like it's minding its own business as it begins to gnaw on it. North from that demon is another blob-like demon with all these limbs, does not have any wings. It is crawling around and it looks like it's sniffing the ground. And it seems to be like drawn to this dried blood that's on the pathway. Looks like we got 2 of these demons that look like to be hunting for something. Might need to lure them away.
Hella Christo.
Don't worry, I got this.
Very weird, okay.
Can I try to pick up a rock and throw it on the other side of them?
Can you throw that far?
Where on the map are you trying to throw?
Well, the ones coming towards us, I want to try to throw it past them.
There are none coming towards you. They're like doing their own thing. One is eating another demon on top of a building, and the other one is like sniffing and lurking around this large dried patch of blood that's on the dirt pathway.
Don't worry, guys. If they come towards us, I have a plan.
Okay.
I can't tell you about it.
Drell, look at the one that's at the top of the building. See how it's eating one of its own?
Mm-hmm.
See, it has 2 wings, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That one, and he points to the other one to the north, doesn't have any wings.
Mm-hmm.
This is the point to how powerful they are. You see?
Mm-hmm.
You see, that one can fly. That one cannot fly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really feel like this lesson would have been great last night or before we left.
I've been telling you this since the day we met. I was a greater minor demon with 7 wings.
It's in my notepad, but I can't look at that right now.
All right, should we go to the south side of that building?
Yeah, I think so.
And as Minnis is going, he's like trying to get into character. He's like, my name is Cage and I love blood shards. Love blood shards. Just eat them up. Nom, nom, nom.
Everyone make me stealth checks as you are now following Minnis to the south side on this giant trunk.
41.
36.
31.
As you head southward, you see, as you travel along this blood tree trunk, you see the demon is not, the one that's on the building eating another demon, does not lose its focus from its meal. It continues to chomp down from the lifeless body. You see that more south as you go, you see that there's this big black wall that stretches from east to west. There is a watchtower that it meets with another large demon on top of it that looks like more of a gorilla shape. Very, very muscular. Does not have any wings, and its focus seems to be southeastward towards all the commotion where like the demons are fighting, and it's like moving and reacting to that direction, to the southeast direction. We may be able to slip under the demon that is eating the other demon and go that way because these walls are very high. You see the walls between the different parts of the city. The one to your south is about like 100 feet up. Is a vertical wall spanning about 100 feet or so.
My thoughts exactly, Sly. Let's keep going.
The old serpentine method. I like it.
Yes.
You see Sly nods in agreement, heads to the west side of the tree trunk and slides down on the dried blood and hops off and goes underneath the roof of the building where the demon is eating the other demon. You head around to the south side of the building and there's the other demon that is sniffing around for blood. You could sneak past it to go through and enter the courtyard. You need to make another stealth check as you see Sly heads westward, slides down this old rotten grass hill, tumble away from the demon that is eating another demon on top of the roof, heads north, and is about to turn into the courtyard, the city courtyard. Everybody make me a stealth check.
That's a 33.
26.
I got a 33 too.
Oh.
Drell, as you bring up the rear behind Armos, you see that Sly advances and goes into the city courtyard, the city square. You sneak over the wall to the city square, and there are these large tents spread throughout the city town square. And there are these large shadow markings on the floor. It looks like heavy things have landed here at some point, but not boulders or cannonballs. It looks like the ground has been smashed in. On the northwest side of the courtyard, you see this large tentacle-like tower. A large tentacle made up of flesh and blood shard scales. Large and small blood shards form around the body in a flesh-like form to make this demonic tentacle as it sways slowly. The tip of the body scans like an eye over the city. In the center of the courtyard, you see Sly rushes up behind one of the tents to get a look as he whispers, "You may get your wish, as you may see one of the prisoner transports now." Rushing over to the tattered tents, there is this red portal that is just closing up. Outside of the portal are 6 cultists in front of a large cart that is covered in blood, and there is a number of prisoners inside that are gasping and looking around and screaming to themselves in horrified fear. They are completely frightened as they are taking in their surroundings, as they are seeing this blood-soaked city for the first time. In addition to the 6 cultists, there are 5 of these tin heads. You see these 5 suits of armor that glow with this green flame inside the helmet very dimly. As the cart is now in place, 6 cultists go up and begin to lock chains to the cart and slowly begin to pull the cart full of prisoners in the courtyard as they're beginning to make their movement. And it looks like they're about to head westward as the tin heads, these iron soldiers, begin to march in unison with them. The soldiers look about average height, around like 5 to 6 feet tall. What are you guys doing?
Okay, I think we need to sneak around the southern side and meet them on the opposite end of the courtyard here, else we're gonna have to deal with those living towers. We can't ambush them here.
Yep, Armos is nodding.
Agreed.
And Minnis is gonna start heading to the southern side. As it looks like he sees in the distance, it looks like we might be able to go around the wall on the southeast side of the courtyard and maybe flank them around the west.
Yes, as you are looking over the wall, you do know that you see a cliff on that side of that wall there, leading towards the military ward.
We gotta get the move on though, if we want to beat their pace. And Minnis is trying to go a little faster now.
Sly agrees and begins to head southward. And as he goes from the tent that you were just hiding behind to another tent, he halts you as in the distance you notice another one of these living towers to the south. It is smaller in size, however, it reveals itself. You see as it lumbers over that wall there.
Oh my god.
What do you think, Sly? Do we have to go through these buildings to avoid that?
Yeah, any coverage would be great. I'm not sure what's inside these tents, but let's find out. And he gets down to the floor, picks up the cloth, and there is a ton of dead bodies inside this tent right here. They are completely ripped to shreds. There are bones. They look like various races: humans, dwarves, elves, gnomes, drow elves. There is a mixed bag of corpses in this tent.
Look at all these corpses, Armos.
Jackpot.
Instead of money eyes, you see like skull eyes go over Armos's face.
Like slot machines that run.
Yeah.
Hold on. And you hear like a crunch as one of the bodies that were like right next to the wall of the tent, Reginald rips the hand off. You're not gonna need this, you know?
Slide, look, you caught us at a weird moment, but this is a really good omen.
Okay. It smells very foul.
You kind of get used to it after a while, you know?
I mean, I'm Cage and I love corpses. Minnis gets back in character.
Yeah, Minnis, come on.
Sorry. I need a method act.
Then take a bite.
He looks down and shakily reaches his hand towards the corpse.
You see the car is now moving. The caged car full of prisoners is now moving westward, and you hear people screaming, and they are begging for their lives. The cultists do not look, they do not answer, they do not acknowledge them. Same for the soldiers as well. They just seem to be marching forward, pulling that very heavy cart by hand with these long, dark chains.
All right, Armos, you can do whatever you gotta do after we get back on our way back. All right?
All right.
So we're not killing these bad guys?
No, we're doing that first.
No.
That's the first thing we gotta do.
It's this, and I gesture to all the undead things.
Oh,
Look,
that needs to wait.
This we're coming back for. But,
sure.
Yeah. But if we deal with them, then that's a new pile, and that's even
true.
better.
Exactly.
So, onward.
All right, go. And Minnis goes through the tent.
You go through the tent, you're stepping over these dead bodies.
Oh, man,
Bones
such a waste.
snapping, the viscera covering your now cultist boots as you are becoming blood-soaked.
Oh my god, I'm gonna throw up.
They are piled high in here.
It smells so bad. It's so gross.
You make it to the other end of the tent. You open it up. You see the living tower to the south. Scan the area. As everyone's going to make me a stealth check to try to get to the next tent to roll under.
That's a good roll.
Dude, I'm rolling amazing. This is great.
42.
33.
31.
You rolled the same thing twice in a row.
Bro, I've rolled 2 20s, 2 19s.
Let's go, Armos. That's what I'm talking about.
As you go over to the next tent, as you all pass, you begin to lift the next tent flap as you try to go in. There are no dead bodies in this one, but there are a ton of barrels. There's no rhyme or reason to the barrels. They just you have to like go around all of them, but there's a whole tent filled with these barrels. Some of them do not have lids. You notice a large stockpile of bones here.
Nice.
Oh, man. Could use bones too.
The three of you, as you go under, you hear the living tower from the northwest begin to move as the head of the tentacle begins to lean over in a U shape as the head of the tentacle goes towards the ground, begins to move and regurgitates as this green-red spew unleashes all over the floor as a demon crawls out of the tip of the tentacle.
Oh,
nice.
This demon, larger in size, roars and begins to stretch and grip and like grips the floor, begins to the ground cracks underneath him and launches himself and begins to run through the courtyard and through one of the tents, not the one you went through, but one just north of that, completely blows and knocks it over as it heads to the southeast.
Minnis, now's probably a good time to talk about the birds and the bees, okay?
What? What do birds have to do with this?
The demons and the angels, you know?
Yeah. So what ends up happening?
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, so angels, they're celestial. I get that.
Okay, we do not have time for this. We need to go.
Okay. Yeah. You're right.
All right. Please don't be mimics. Please don't be mimics, says Minnis. Goes through the barrel room.
You thud into one of the barrels. You sneak out to the other side through these bone-filled barrels, and you reach the other side of the tent. As you get a glimpse that the caged cart is about to make its way out of the courtyard. It is moving pretty slowly. This caged cart is very huge and it's just being pulled by 6 cultists.
All right, we're gonna have to be really, really quick around this bend here, guys, if we want to avoid that giant tower.
So are you going through the next tent to your northwest, or are you going out that path?
No, we want to go around the wall so we can meet them on the other side.
Oh, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. I don't know. I just saw something. I think I saw some movement over there with my demon eyes.
Because either way, we're going to have to pass one of these towers.
Yeah.
I'd rather pass on the other side of the wall, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. You want the smaller tower? You want the bigger one?
Definitely.
Okay. Got you. Southwest through the hole in the wall to try to round this courtyard.
Yeah, we essentially rush past. There's a tent in our way that we can get towards the wall, the southern wall, and hug that southern wall until there's an open path to the southwest. And then hopefully we can very quickly brush past that to the west wall that's vertical and sneak through the bottom of this plateau.
So as you make it to that south wall, everyone make me stealth checks as the dirt path begins to open. You can see what's on the other side there.
Yeah, 33.
I'm gonna go ahead and use a luck point on this one.
Oh, thank you.
Why would you roll?
Another?
I mean, it was a 2.
It rhymes with pun.
No. It was a 2, but then I got -1.
That's right.
A 5. So 21.
As you reach this south wall next to this living tower, you see that there are 2 demons. One looks very large, that gorilla shape, and the other one is very tiny and bony. It looks like it's malnourished, and the 2 are fighting. It looks like the malnourished one is being deprived somehow and is trying to attack the healthier demon, and they are fighting off, and it's fighting it off, it's defending itself, and you see that they're trying to get the jump on each other as they're roaring and snarling.
Armos seeing this, he's like, Dark One's like, I'm just kidding, I appreciate you.
That would probably be the best bet, but we need to get past this tower. We need to make a break for it.
Yep.
And you see that Sly begins to go. As he's trying to dash, there's a 100-foot wall that is right there. He's trying to go around, what dimension, and makes it to the other side of the wall. Everybody make me stealth checks. Next to this living tower.
Not great. 31.
Okay. I don't know what's wrong with my rolls. I went a 20, a 20, a 19, a 19, a 2, and then a 1.
Oh, almost.
With a nat 1?
It's technically a 0.
No, technically it's a 15.
So if I get a Z, well, it's a nat 1. Means I automatically fail, right? But so if I fail automatically, I mean, did I even move? You know, did I even like make a step?
With a nat 1, you see that as you are going through, you are following Sly, Minnis, and Drell, and as you cut the corner, you see the living tower instantly snap towards you, the tip of the tentacle, whoosh, coming down with lightning speed, slapping its body onto you. It's going to roll a hit. It rolled a...
Yeah. Get fucked.
It rolled a nat 20.
Oh, no.
I thought it was going to be nat 1. That would have been funny.
Right? That
it rolled a
great.
nat 20. It is going to deal...
I missy step. Reaction. I'm out of here.
Not a reaction, though.
Oh.
You get it. It's going to deal 36 points of bludgeoning damage, and you need to roll me a dexterity saving throw of a DC 18. This tentacle turns, snaps, whoosh, slams its body onto the ground. Even the demon, the 2 demons that are fighting, the healthy demon gets a blunt force. Everything from the tip, it looks like the tip of the tentacle was the thing that was aiming at you. So everything from the living tower all the way up to you was crushed in its path, and that demon got a blunt of the hit as well. As you hear the demon roar in pain from the massive weight of the tentacles slamming down.
No, Armos.
Okay, I rolled a 11.
The tentacle slaps down and wraps itself around your body as you are instantly brought up into the middle of the air. As it slams itself down, you are now 150 feet in the air, wrapped around the tentacle as it begins to squeeze on you. Everybody roll me initiative.
I don't want to.
No, you can't make me.
Bro, I rolled another nat 1.
17 for Minnis.
I got a 4.
Coiled around this fleshy, blood shard filled tower, Reginald holding off for his dear life on your shoulders. As we go to start at the top of the round, initiative 17, Minnis. Flies looking up. Oh, that is not good. How attached were you to him?
What? He's my best friend.
Oh, so, yeah?
Yes?
Okay.
I'm gonna wait here. Okay? You can move on ahead. I think he'll be able to get out of this. He should be able to misty step away. Should be fine.
You see Sly's already like 10 feet back.
There's really nothing I can do to help Armos here, and I don't know what the monsters are gonna do. I want to see what Armos does before I act, so I'm going to use a bonus action to hide, like behind a crevice in the plateau side.
Okay.
Because as I have that ranger feature now, I can vanish, which means I can take a bonus action to hide. What do I have to do for that? Just a stealth check?
Yes.
That is a 43.
Okay. You believe that you are vanished. You believe that you are hidden.
And I will use, I guess, just a dodge action. No, I guess I'll use a... I'm trying to think of something useful I can do, but I have nothing that'll help Armos here. I will use a prepared action to attack any monster that comes within 30 feet of me and Drell.
All right, we're going to move to initiative 10, which is the living tower. As you see that it begins to crush, It's going to squeeze. It's going to deal an additional 16 points of bludgeoning damage, crushing damage to you as it begins to squeeze. And then it is going to fling you. Oh, here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to have one of you guys roll me a D4, and that's the direction it goes. 1 is north, 2 is south, 3 is east, 4 is west.
2.
Armos, you get flung 60 feet south. As you fall, taking fall damage, you are also going to take 10 points of bludgeoning damage from the fling and an additional 15d6. 14d6 as you fall 150 feet.
Is Armos going to die this episode?
14d6.
This is the worst possible person to get grabbed by this.
46 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall, as you are flung and tossed towards the floor 60 feet to the south. As you tumble onto the cracked, rocky, solid, dark rock of ground.
I was gonna save this for something cooler.
What's cooler than not dying?
Yeah, what's cooler than not dying, am I right?
Right? I know. I was hoping this was gonna be something cool. All right. I'm going to, so when I level up, you can change your Eldritch invocation. So the last one that I had was a curse that if something touched me, but I have, so as a reaction, you take damage, you entomb yourself with ice, which melts away at the end of your next turn. You gain 10 temporary hit points per warlock level, which can take as much of the triggered damage as possible. Immediately after taking damage, you gain invulnerability to fire, your speed is set to 0, and you are incapacitated.
This is awesome. This is like a last-ditch effort, like, please save me kind of move. I love this.
That'll save me 50.
You take
how many
you
points?
get 170 temporary hit points.
But the problem is, immediately after taking damage, you gain vulnerability to fire, your speed is 0, and you're incapacitated.
As this tomb of ice, this frozen Armos popsicle gets flung through the air, the total damage from that fling attack was 56, which gets absorbed by the tomb of ice, and you bank onto the ground. Bing, ding, 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 ding. As the two of you see like Armos getting flung, you just see this shard of ice immediately flashes over, getting flung southward.
I know you wanted a cool moment, but this is hilarious. So much better.
We are going to. Sly also goes on initiative 10. Sly goes, okay. Is he alive? Is that something he normally does? Can we go recover him?
He looks alive. I think it's an ice tentacle. It froze him.
Okay. I'm gonna wait and see if he can come over here. That tower's going to notice any one of us that tries to go over there.
We'll wait for his move.
Sly's going to hold its action as we move to initiative 5, which are the 2 demons. As you see, the demon that was knocked prone from the tentacle slowly starts to get up as the malnourished one takes advantage and lunges onto that demon and tries to get on its back, pinning it down. As you see its long beak shoves its long beak into its shoulder blades and is trying to suck life, draining its blood for its own. Drell.
Okay, so I think Drell is just gonna look at Minnis and he's gonna go, so are we attacking or are we not attacking?
We'll see what Armos can do first, and if he needs help, we'll step in.
Okay, I got a crazy idea. You cool with it? Cool with it. All right.
Maybe what?
If it works, it's gonna be real cool. Cool. Hypothetically, if I have something that I could supposedly throw and it automatically returns to me, if I throw it and somebody on the other side happens to grab it, would I be able to pull them to me if they can hang on to it?
If he wasn't incapacitated, yes. He's frozen right now, though.
Yeah, we'll have to go that on a scenario basis. He is completely frozen, which melts at the end of his next turn, by the way.
Okay, so I will hold an action then.
Okay.
And for no reason in particular, Drell is slowly pulling out his Dwarven Thrower.
We move to initiative 1, which is Armos, laying on the ground, frozen, slowly melting. And after a few seconds, he melts away. And that is the end of his turn, as you are no longer incapacitated.
That sucked.
And we move back to the top of the round on initiative 17. Minnis.
In this area, our cover's blown, so I think I just want to attack this thing so that Armos has the best chance of getting out, because I don't want him to...
The living tower?
Yeah. I'm just going to see what a 5th level guiding bolt does to this thing.
Sure.
And that's going to be 16 to hit.
The spell makes contact with the tower, and you see the explosion. It doesn't move. It doesn't try to get out of the way. It is just reacting to what Armos is doing after it had flung it. You see the explosion go off. How much damage does it do?
21 points of radiant damage.
You see the guiding bolt explode on the surface of the tower. It does not react in any specific way that you can tell.
Okay.
You feel like you just threw a stone at a building.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to keep hiding, and I get a 40 stealth check.
Awesome. You, with the 40 stealth check, we're gonna move to initiative 10, which is the living tower. And Sly, you see Sly comes up. He takes out a longbow, and he goes, okay, let's try to distract it, and knocks back an arrow and takes a shot with a dirty 20. He's going to do, rolled kind of low on damage there. That's fine. You see the arrow shoots straight and true towards the top as it sticks into the tower, but however, there is no reaction. Staying on initiative 10 is the living tower. As you see, the living tower comes up as it's curling and furling over Armos again, and is going to attempt to make another attack at him. As it comes and slams down with a 23 to hit, with a total of 22 points of bludgeoning damage. Yes. Drell, are you hidden right now?
Yes.
Make me, what is your stealth check that you got?
I mean, I'm only invisible, but you said it can see through it, right? So
make me a stealth check. I want to see if it can see.
27.
Okay. It's going to continue to focus on Armos as it comes down with another tentacle attack, as it's going to keep relentlessly grabbing him. 23 to hit, dealing another additional 18 points of damage, and make me a dexterity saving throw of a DC 18.
Oh my god. We need to get this guy the hell out of there.
6.
It grabs you and brings you back up another 150 feet, and as it begins to squeeze tightly on you, like, Reginald gets carried and brought up to the sky as we go to initiative 5, which are the demons scrapping with each other. They are preoccupied. As we go to Drell on initiative 4.
He's trying to think of things he can do to help distract this tentacle to get it away from Armos. And he digs in his bag and he looks at Minnis and he goes, cool. And he lifts out his bag of magical beans and kind of looks to Minnis for approval of planting one and seeing what it could do. I mean, this is all I got. I don't know what else more you want from me.
Didn't it take like a whole minute for that thing to come into effect last time?
I mean, I don't know. It's so long ago. What else could I do?
I think we just gotta attack this thing, man.
All right, fine.
Our cover's blown.
I thought we used to have fun. And Drell throws the hammer, the dwarven thrower, and the tentacle.
Okay, so you are currently, from the base of it, you are 135 feet away. You have the range of a max of 60 feet with the dwarven thrower, so you need to move to get to the tentacle, which you would have to move to about where the demons are fighting with each other to get in range to be able to throw that hammer.
Okay. I don't want to go near the demons because I feel like having them on us is not going to help this situation. I don't know what to do.
Help! Help! It's getting real dark up here.
I'm just going to do this. I'm
feeling woozy.
Going to pop bonus action, pop a Swift Thistle Brew, or the Quick Thistle, I'm sorry, which includes my movement speed of 15 for 1 hour. So I'm going to drink one of those, and that increases my movement to 45 feet. And then I am going to dash 90 feet along this wall to try to stay as far away from the demons as possible. So the demons are like directly south of us. So I want to head east and south if that's possible.
East, southeast.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah. I'm just, for the listeners at home, I'm trying to make it a little bit easier to understand what I'm trying to do.
Of course.
I'm gonna hug the wall of kind of where we just came from, and then
So you dash with the Swift Thistle? Yeah. So you make it to the south wall. You are now running. Or are you still invisible?
Yes.
Perfect. So as you run, you go ahead and make that dash action, and we're gonna go back to initiative 1. Armos being crushed by the tentacle 150 feet in the air.
I'm over this. I'm over this. I use my hand. One hand is free. I look over at Reginald, who's gripping on to my one hand. Like, hang on, just let go of my fingers. And I'm starting to...
I want to get down. I don't have wings anymore.
Grab onto my horns.
I don't like this.
Hang on.
Grab it onto your horns.
I cast Dimension Door. You teleport yourself from your current location to any spot within range. So, I'm out of here. Bye!
You go up to 300 feet. Where are you going? Tell me where you want to go.
It's 500 feet. It says such as.
Oh, I see. I've been corrected by the words. Okay.
It doesn't matter. I don't need to go anything further than out of the range of this damn thing.
Really? You can go anywhere and you choose to go back to where you were. Interesting.
No. I'm just gonna go. I could see Wait. So I could see everything from up here.
Yes, you can.
What's my view? What's my view look like?
Be a percent check. Let's see what's revealed to you with crushing.
Here we go.
Crushing grip of a living building.
He squeezed a good idea out of me. 18.
Time begins to slow down as the weight of this massive tentacle is crushing. As the bones begin to snap and pop, as you feel like you've broken a rib under this immense pain, as you take a glimpse around the city. To the south, you see a blood-soaked city. You see blood-soaked buildings with demons sprawling all over the buildings, with the streets completely covered in blood. That it looks like a flood of blood is covering the city streets. Even further in the distance, you see a massive demon in the center with all these flying demons around it in front of a large bridge. You also see a part of a floating bridge leading into the military ward that Sly was telling you about, and you see a good chunk of the military ward. You see on the plateau which the military ward rests on, there is a slew of hangars and buildings. You see large battalions of these tin-headed soldiers, and you see several of these large suits of iron, these giant knights, as you may remember as the Revenger that you fought back in Shadowfell. And in the distance to the north, you see that there are two groups of these caged carts being pulled to the north entrance of the military ward. You also see several watchtowers. You see a number of ballistas on this plateau. And then you Dimension Door. Where are you Dimension Door?
I cast Dimension Door and I see where Sly and Minnis are, and I go just out of the range of the tentacle north of them along the wall.
It crushed him to death. Minnis falls to his knees because he just sees him disappear.
240 feet as you are 150 feet in the air. You're traveling 150 feet, so you're trying to get there safely. As you cast Dimension Door, and you hear the shrieks of Reginald. Silence. Minnis and Drell, as you no longer hear him scream.
No.
Oh, he's dead.
Armos, no.
As I make it there, I can still move. I kind of nestle up to the wall just so that I'm out of its sight, ? And that's my turn.
We moved back to initiative 17 minutes.
There's nothing else to do but move on. I'll never forget you, Armos. As I run 30 feet to the north crying, and then I see Armos go, Armos, he's alive.
That was zero fun. Zero fun.
And I take a dash action and hug Armos.
I'm just, okay, whoa, come on. Enough with the gripping.
I thought it crushed you to death.
We go back to like firm handshakes, baby. I'm just like leaning up against the wall.
I'm so glad I'm out of there. Minnis, is that all you're doing for your turn?
Dodge action.
Take dodge action. Reginald goes, oh, well, okay. Now we can move on. Where's Drell? As we move to initiative 10, as the tentacle shifts its attention to Drell, as he is now along the southern wall here and begins to make a series of attacks. As he comes to slam down with a tentacle with a dirty 20 to miss. Ooh, a dirty 26.
Hit him with the Drell.
Shield.
Yes! You cast shield as this globe of invulnerability shields you as the tentacle and comes down with a third attack with a dirty 20 to miss as you are dodging out of the way. We're going to move to staying on initiative 10. You see Sly sees Armos' return, takes dash action to regroup with the two of you. and it keeps going. Initiative 5, the demons are unfazed and continue to fight as you see the withered demon get some life to him. As he begins to expand, his muscle tissue grows. You hear the flesh mutating before you, as we are now going to initiative 4, which is Drell.
So after all of that, I think Drell, after being almost fucking, clobbered to death, he's like, I gotta save Armos. And then he looks over there and no longer sees Armos. And then he hits him with the John Travolta, where he's just like standing around the room, like with his hands up, like looking around, like where the fuck did he go?
Drell Travolta.
Yeah. And then he just thinks to himself and he goes, tactical retreat. And he uses disengage action to run exactly back to where he came from last turn.
And you running out of way, we're gonna come out of combat here as the tower begins to slam on where Drell was until it stops. Drell, you are catching your breath. You see Reginald's on top of Armos, like, oh, that was terrible. Armos was getting squeezed like a popsicle, like a push pop.
Well, maybe next time he should, I don't know, take some proficiencies to make his, dex better. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, like maybe some foresight. I should have some foresight, is what you're trying to tell me?
That might help.
Maybe I shouldn't have gave it to someone.
Maybe this fighting isn't the best to do right now.
I'll show you fighting.
As you reconvene with Minnis, it feels dark again as the shadows kind of veil us from my Pass Without Trace.
I need health.
I could really use that. Oh, right, a hand. Nice! And you see that Reginald begins to eat the hand that he ripped off the corpse from before.
I have a bunch of just regular healing potions.
Would you like to take a swig?
How many could I drink that I get?
We'll give you 30 seconds, Armos.
Wait, I get the full amount because I'm not out of combat, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna drink 4 of them for 40 life.
Well, you guys thirsty? And you see Armos is pounding his back. He's pounding back health potions.
Just kidding, I'm gonna drink 5. 10 more life.
What are you guys doing as you see the carts are being pulled just north of you as you are sneaking along the west side of this wall, heading north, under the plateau of the military ward?
Look, guys, I know we're in a hurry, but let me give a 10-minute inspirational speech. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so Sly, I guess, lead on. What are we, it's kind of, he's on point at this point, right?
He is doing point. So he begins to move up and he begins to hug the wall of the plateau, hiding within its shade, using Pass Without Trace to his advantage, and begins to hug between the wall. You see 2 caravans in front of you. A even larger bloody caged cart is ahead of you, holding a lot of prisoners inside, various races, dragonborns, dwarves, gnomes, and they're all begging for their lives, as there's 12 cultists pulling that cart, with none of these tin hats guarding them, but they are moving slightly faster because of the amount of cultists that are pulling them, and the other caravan is slowly treading behind. So Sly looks at you and goes, are we intervening with the caravans, or are we waiting for them to enter the military ward to see where they go?
Well, do I see if there are any red lanterns?
Make me a perception check.
Perception check. 15.
With a 15, you don't notice any lanterns that are out. It looks like everybody's using both hands to pull here. These cultists all have their hoods up, but you get a evil sense from them. There's evil all around this city, but you do get the sense of evil from with them as you're looking at them. Your feather begins to react in such a way that you think they have the corruption of Bayloon about them.
They would have had to use their lanterns to get through that portal, right?
I'm not sure how the portal works. They use the red flame to get to Viral's tower. Perhaps only commanders, captains, or generals, or however they wish to name themselves, only have access to Viral's tower. It's not often that cultists go there.
But to say, if we want to intervene, I got some things we can do, but if we want to stick to the mission, I'll look over at Drell for what his thoughts are.
Oh, man. We really need that lantern, but at the same time, I don't want these people to die. I think if we could do it fast, then let's just take these guys out real quick.
So if we were to free these prisoners, that means we would need to bring them back. Well, I guess the safest way would be through the sewers, which you came in. If we had freed these prisoners, there's a good chance that they would have been alerted. That might cause some more chaos within the city. could potentially lead him to our hideout.
None of them look like they're big fighters or anything like that.
You cannot tell from this distance.
Yeah, I think it's too risky. Even if we do save them, like those tentacles, let me tell you, you don't want to be on the end of that. Even if we follow them, they're not dead. We could still save them. Armos is trying to cope with his decision.
I mean, our whole goal is to save people. And if we can't even save these people, then what's the point?
We don't even know what they're using them for.
Oh, I'm sure it's not good. What do you think they're going to do? Make them millionaires while they're in there?
I can't say it's good, but they're not initially being sacrificed to the blood god.
Drell looks at Minnis.
I'm with Drell on this one. I think as the moment presents itself, we have to at least try, and hopefully they have lanterns on them.
All right.
If we have to go to the sewer, that's fine. But we can't just leave them here.
Armos is ready. I want to cast a spell before we get into combat or do anything else real quick.
What would you like to cast?
Armor of Agatha's?
Sure. You cast Armor of Agathis on yourself.
Drell gets ready to be prepared that he's going to cast it on him, and then he looks over and sees that he cast it on himself. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That checks.
Drell, you can literally see the future.
I know. Well, it's not like that, but kind of.
So that gives me 25 temporary hit points, and I look at the team and I'm like, thumbs up? We ready?
So since we're not going to be sneaking any longer, Minnis is going to stop his concentration on the Pass Without Trace and pass Guidance at 2nd level on the 4 of us.
Nice.
Wait, did you say Bless? I couldn't hear
Bless.
That. What did you say?
Sorry, Bless
Okay.
is what I meant to say. Guidance is a cantrip. Bless is what I cast at 2nd level.
I knew what he meant.
Cast Bless at 2nd level. And as you are making your preparations, you see Sly looks at you. And then you see him look at the ground curiously. His head tilts as you see that pebbles begin to rubble at your feet. They begin to vibrate and they're bouncing like a half inch off the ground. And he looks at the 3 of you and he looks around the plateau's edge. He goes, "What is that?" And as he sneaks up, 3 of you follow along as you get a better look down the dirt path. So where you're looking right now, there's a dirt path that forks. One of the dirt paths leads to a gate that leads to the military ward. You have to go north and then south. It hooks around the plateau. The second path of the fork heads north. And you see that on this dirty, bloody pathway, something heavy is moving, but it does not sound like footsteps. It is a consistent rumble. As you see this large metal contraption with a huge brazier-like torch at the center, with a green infernal flame lighting at its center, with a long cannon sticking out from the front, with large iron wheels also infused with flames, like a movable fortress, begins to make its way towards that gate. As you see the cannon on the front slowly swaying from left to right as the green flame roars from the center of its large brazier. And that is where we're going to end this week's session.
No.
I did not realize how long we were actually playing for.
Yep.
I completely lost track of time.
Because it was so fun.
As you essentially see this
Tank.
Yes, let's say tank. Made out of similar
tank inbound
similar armor style of these tin hats soldiers.
It looks like the Dread, but tank form.
That is a excellent way of putting it, Alec. Thank you.
I'm gonna be honest. I think my turn is still the same.
Nice.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this stuff in the after show. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your theories. I'm not going to confirm or deny anything, but I definitely want to know where your head's at, what the information has been revealed to all of you. Also, props for taking Foresight at level 9 and not the other spells available to you. There's some tempting ones there.
Yeah.
There are some tempting ones.
That's such a cool one.
I thought about it long and hard. I mean, we do so much magic and stuff. Like, I can get us out of jams, but when it comes to straight raw damage, I think we're gonna get the most value out of that. And it's cool.
And it's hella cool. It's hella cool.
Drell doing advantage all the time on like everything.
Yeah, that was clutch.
And when he gets attacked, having disadvantage.
Yeah, I got to remember that one though.
Yeah, we'll do it on the next attack.
That's the hard part about being like such high level is you just have a million things to keep track of, and you're like, I don't.
Yeah, it's super difficult.
It's like we're all DMing or something, dude. It's crazy.
Information overload.
The amount I have to scroll down in my spells. It's like, hey, what are you going to do? It's like, hang on. Scrolling.
I control F everything, dude. I'm like, just let me find this.
Also, I apologize on voices today. My throat started to kill me. I was just getting over being sick from all the holidays. So my voice was not at 100% this session.
Yeah, Tony was hacking in our ear all day long.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Should have took a Mucinex or something, man. It was Okay. Any final thoughts before we ask for a recommendation? It's a new year.
New year, same tentacles.
New Year's. I have one. I saw over our winter break, Nosferatu came out on Christmas. Oh my God, what a great movie. It's very weirdly paced. It's like fast, slow, but it is like awesome. It is so well done.
7 out of 10.
What'd you say? 7 out of 10?
Yeah.
You saw it?
It's a good movie. The reviews are super mixed right now.
Yes, very.
I understand why, because I don't know if they got a new editor or something. I need to look it up because the editing is not great. Outside of the editing, though, it's like very cinematic.
Oh, William Dafoe's in it.
Willem Dafoe is in it. It's funny enough.
Sorry, what?
Well, they don't know we were talking about that. We were talking about Willem Dafoe before this.
Yeah, Tony was talking about his penis.
Whoa, there's Jared.
Oh, was it?
What?
Oh.
Jared mentioned his penis.
Yeah, Jared.
I knew about the penis as well, but that's neither here nor there.
When we were talking, it was a William Dafoe thing.
Yeah, we were talking about William Dafoe.
What movie are you talking about? I didn't hear it.
Nosferatu.
Oh, okay.
I would give it maybe like 7.5. I would give it. I really enjoyed it. I didn't notice anything with the editing though.
Editing, yeah, it was just there were a lot of weird hard cuts that messed up with the pace. The way they transitioned into scenes were pretty poor. It ruined the pacing for me. The pacing was kind of all over the place, and they would zip around from place to place, and it was like, okay, we're going a little too fast through some of this and then way too slow through other parts.
I love the chaoticness of it.
So what I'm getting is, as long as you didn't study film, you'll like the movie.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. Yes, I think if you didn't study film,
I think that most people that like the movie are film goers. I think the general audience does not like the movie. From the reviews I'm reading, it's 50-50 split between like a bunch of 5-star reviews and a bunch of 1-star reviews.
Yeah.
And a lot of the 1-star reviews are about how gross it is, the pace of it all. And I see why people don't enjoy the pace. I still think the concept and the plot and the ending specifically is on point, but it's just, don't go to the movie if you aren't into slow movies, because it drags. It definitely drags, and you need to be specifically interested in the concept and the old movie and the lore of it all to be engulfed in it. Part of my bias is I don't love vampire movies, so that brought me down a little bit just on my own personal bias.
Funny enough, I don't like vampires as like a general concept, but I loved that portrayal of vampires.
Yeah, that old style is really good. I really like that old style vampire.
I love Count
more than others.
Come stay at the castle. I love how his voice was like, the whole time. I'm like, I just want to hear this guy talk the whole movie.
I think you are going to make a good meal. Half of the movie is just
half his lines are him just breathing into the mic.
Nobody breathes like that actor.
It's just the guy who plays Nosferatu is also the guy who played It.
Mm-hmm.
So
don't go to the movie if you're not into like really gross, skeevy horror. It's meant to make you feel gross.
Mm-hmm.
It's an itchy kind of topic and all with the sexuality and all that. So don't see it if you don't like that kind of stuff. But no, it's definitely a good movie. I made the mistake of not reading what the movie was about beforehand and suggesting that we see it, my dad and my sister and I.
Oh, no.
Not a great movie to watch with your family on Christmas. So.
Oh, no.
My sister can pick the next movie we see on Christmas because that was a miss. It was a miss for the family. I thought it was a good movie.
I thought it was a great Christmas movie.
I'm shocked that you suggested Nosferatu before I suggested Nosferatu. I thought I would have been the one to suggest an artsy film like that.
I thought it was dope. I enjoyed it. And then I marathoned the entire Twilight Saga the next day, but that's neither here nor there.
Right, yeah, of course. Well, those are the prequels to Nosferatu.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and go into the Patreon supporters. Give your most vampire goodbye.
I want to say goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye.
De Laurentiis.
Hey everybody, what's poppin'? It's the biggest, it's the baddest, the strongest Minotaur you ever been blessed to see. It's Miranor, and I've decided to take a short rest from my workout to shout out this month's Patreon supporters. We're gonna start off with the Shadow Smokers. These badass heiferfluffers have one hell of an amazing journey rolling with me as my new crew. And first up, we have Julius Kendrick, and this go-getter really took a bull by the horns by giving me a new way to train my already flawless combat techniques. He's able to summon hordes of bone bros to help me fight. Some of them even spit green fire, and some are even made of metal. The glowing tattoos on his body kind of freak me out, I'm not gonna lie, bro. You need to get those treated, because when I stare at the tattoos, not only does it feel like I'm staring at the void of death, but I feel like I can hear children crying too, bro. You gotta get that checked out, Julius. Second is Dylan Snyder, and he's out of this world. Some would say he's from Mars. This grong is leaps and bounds better than Minnis. Minnis only thinks he's cool because he can float, but Dylan is way cooler because he can hop way higher than Minnis can float. As a matter of fact, Dylan can hop over 100 Minnises, and you need a lot of Minnises for this example because she's so short. Next, we have a Laura Dawnstar, and this gal really packs a punch in her kicks. Are you fond of the sound barrier? I hope not, because she destroys whatever swift kick she got. They boom, they zoom. Laura drops her foes harder than Minnis dropping the ball in dodgeball during Grace class. And last we have Bro Benjamin Hayes. Let me tell you something about this bro, alright? Let me tell you something about Benjamin. He knows how to take a hit, but he always gets back up. It's a privilege watching him work out in the field. A true tank to our militia. Our immovable Brock on the front line. A beacon of tenacity and fortitude. A death save would hate to see Benjamin coming. Alright, now let's move on and talk about these Bloodshard Bandit nerds. First up is Reigns, and much like the Reigns down in Africa by Toto, I can listen to this guy all day. Truly a knowledgeable nerd, despite being a horrific frog monster once. Minister wrote me a letter about that could not have been fun. And next is Shade Greyfire, and despite having the most edgelord name I've ever heard a bro have, he is at least way cooler than Minnis, and he has a wicked dice collection. And next up is Amanda Dulong, aka Morgan Uthil, and I gotta say, I love the way you won that conversation against Armos. That guy couldn't talk himself out of a paper bag. Oh, but this next one, Sly, let me tell you about Sly. Sly is one slick bro and an excellent wingman. It's like whenever I need something, he has it. It's like he steals it or something. And last up is Artemis. And to be honest, I'm not a fan. You keep calling me a bully, and I kind of think that makes you a nerd. Oh, what, you want to go or something, bro? You want to go? Yeah, I'll see you after these shoutouts are done. Sorry, I let my anger get the best of me there. It's not very classy of a bro to get mad. However, let's talk about my last Deadlifts and Dungeons game we had with the Cincinnati College alumni last week. Alright, so here's what happened, alright? Last session, Aiden, our fierce fighter, really dealt out some major damage. He was landing critical hits left and right. It kind of sucked though when he lost his lucky D20. Like when it hit the floor, it was like really loud, but we didn't know where it went. Now I'm thinking about it, it's kind of louder than your average dice, but you know, maybe he just lifts, maybe he's just cool like that. But David the Chance came in hella clutch though. Like he rolled 2 nat 20s on his portent roll on his divination wizard, so we had some extra nat 20s to go around for sure. But then Craig Dawnbringer, he was the underdog in the last session for sure. Like the DM was kind of bullying me. It was totally uncool. I felt like I was being targeted, and Craig totally brought me back up to full HP with a little pre-workout and lay on hands. Patrick Wennerstrom and Saint Chaos decided to roll a new character last session, and together they both played like this crazy 2-headed ogre, sorcerer, rogue, druid build. It was crazy. Patrick and Chaos really went all out in combat. I mean, it kind of seemed a little power gamey in my opinion, But, you know, to each their own, to each their own. I'm not going to judge. I'm still stronger anyway. Oh, and Sergio Rodriguez. How can I forget our faithful, reliable healer? Sergio really kept the party alive. There was this one poison trap that we all got hit, but he was able to keep us up with his mass healing. The men's bathroom obnoxious guest was no match. It was crazy. All in all, it was a great deadlifts and dungeon session. Robert Crisp did a really good job running Drell's bodacious undeadatorium module. It was awesome. It had everything. It had stinky men's bathrooms. It had large weights and giant monsters. But we totally steamrolled it. But Robert did a great job, despite targeting me constantly. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to Humbrea's heroes. Iton Tem 7, Maid of Nightmares, Jacob Matthew, and Drown. Thanks for lifting with me last week. Your combined weight totally helped me hit a new PR. Grant Fairman, Tyler Brisby, Ripcorded, Toby Lodge, and Sean Carroll. You guys are hella chill. Thanks for letting me in the hacky shit circle. Will Miller, Tazlin, Johnny Tar, D&D Virgin 69, Odie 1203, and Man with Glass, thanks for helping me land my first pirouette in dance class. You guys are your best. Now I can totally turn on a dime. And that's it for this month's shoutouts for the Patreon supporters. If you would like to know how to become a Patreon supporter, go ahead and click that Patreon link down below, or go ahead and search on your cool keyboard at patreon.com/DND404, and you can find all the information there. And until then, have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Minnis is a nerd!